Shalom, family. I hope everybody is doing well. Good to see you. I wanted to come back with this story because I had saw it yesterday, and I said, you know what, I should talk about that one. So, Joe Biden recently commuted a lot of sentences of 37 out of 40 death row inmates. He commuted them to life sentences. He did not do it for Dylann Roof. Okay. He could have done it for Dylann Roof, but he didn't. I think he realized what, people would have turned up on Joe Biden if he would have done that. So, Dylann Roof, his sentence stands. It will not be changed, and it shouldn't be changed. This dude killed 9 people, and I want to know, why is this dude still alive? Why didn't they fry him and send him to the boneyard already? All right, he's been on death row since 2017, and we're going into 2025, and that piece of garbage is still living. Boy, they sure know how to drag their feet when it's one of their own, don't they? If Dylann was a black dude, they would have been fried his butt and sent him to the boneyard. Mm-hmm. So, let me share my screen. Do I have this up? I think I do. Yeah. Okay. So, Joe Biden did this about maybe about a week ago. So, he's just pardoning people before he goes. And Out of 37, it was Dylann Roof and 3 others that he refused to commute their sentences. And Dylann doesn't deserve it anyway. He doesn't deserve it at all. So his sentence stays in place. Little demon shouldn't even be here as far as I'm concerned. I'm pissed that he's still here. So President Joe Biden spares the lives of everyone except for 3 people. He converted nearly every federal death row sentence to life in prison. Only 3 people, including Dylann Roof, the convicted, we know his uh, unaliving was racially motivated at the AME Church, Emmanuel AME Church. You know what that really ticked me off about that church? Back when that happened, y'all, if y'all remember, they had this ginormous white Jesus up in that church. And I will never forget, that thing was humongous. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, who put that jumbo size white Jesus up in there? I mean, that thing was, if you go back and look at the inside of that church when all of this happened, and they had a huge white Jesus. And I was like, oh my goodness. Wow. I still can see that in my mind. I can still see it. So now the inmates will serve life sentences behind bars. And, it just goes over some of the inmates and what they did, and look, the Donald Trump, he has been outspoken about capital punishment, but my thing is with Donald Trump, you got to kind of watch him. He's very selective in these kind of things. He does not agree all the way across the board. He's very selective. So when Biden came into office, the administration imposed a moratorium on federal executions, and his actions today will prevent the next administration from carrying out the execution sentences that would not be handed down under current policy and practice. Now, this is according to the White House. This is a statement they put out on December 23rd. Jim Clyburn, yeah, oh boy, a South Carolina Democrat, applauded the president's move, saying that many death sentences reflect, inadequate defense counsel and unjust outcomes. Okay, well, if that is the case, then why are y'all continuing to put people on death row if you know they had pretty bad defense? And, and we already know the courts in this country are just not, they're not fair. They're not concerned about being fair either. So, they're just talking about how historic this is, a move that Joe Biden made. But yeah, he's on his way out. No matter what he does at this point, he's on his way out. So, of course, you got some that agree with what Joe Biden did. And of course, you got some that disagree. And I also remember about, what Dylann Roof did, how quick they were to come out, I think like the next day, to say, I forgive you. Man, I will never forget that. My stomach turned. My stomach turned when those folks did that. And I said, boy, we got to get out of this habit of all of this I forgive you stuff. That is a disgrace. And if we can't do nothing else, I pray we stop doing that. I have not heard it recently, but I don't be checking for our people when they do all that I forgive you stuff. But I noticed lately a lot of people are not doing that like they once did. And I'm glad about that. All right, let me see. I'm gonna put the victims of Dylann Roof up here. And some of you may remember the vast majority of them were elders. They were elderly people. And I was like, wow, I bet you Dylann Roof probably think he really did something, taking out a bunch of old people. Do I have that? All right, hold on. I might have it. Yeah, I do. Let me stop sharing. See if I can share his victims again. Yeah, here they are. Some of you may remember the victims of Dylann Roof right here on my screen. I know I will never forget. I will never forget the day this happened. And it just, I think, we know these folks do all kinds of violent things, but it still takes you by surprise when these things happen. And as you can see, a lot of elderly people, the vast majority of them were senior citizens. And that's what he took out. He took out people that allowed him to stay at the prayer meeting they were having. And he seized the opportunity to take these people out. And if you remember, he left a few alive so that they could tell the story of what he did. And then, he got caught and the police proceeded to take him to Burger King. To add insult to injury, they took him to Burger King, and their excuse was, well, he was hungry. Well, even if he was hungry, he could have ate at the prison. Couldn't he have had a meal at the prison? They do serve food. It may not be the best food, but they do serve food. Mm-mm-mm. But in this case, I do agree with Joe Biden. I'm glad he did not overturn the sentence that Dylann Roof received. He did not deserve it. Mhm. Well, yeah. The thing is, Dylann Roof, yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why somebody is sitting on death row that did what Dylann Roof did, and it's going on what, 8 years? 8 years, and they still haven't done nothing to this dude. 8 years. Mm-mm. Yeah, well, somebody ain't doing their job over there. The best thing that happened to Dylann Roof was when that other inmate, I forgot his name. Do y'all remember the name of the inmate that beat the brakes off of him up in that shower in the prison, and everybody sent him commissary to the point he could get out of jail? I don't think that dude is back in jail. I think he's out of jail. I never heard of him going back. I don't think he had to go back in that prison. But if y'all remember, what was the name of that inmate that beat the brakes off of Dylann Roof in the shower? And he was supposed to be supervised. And, of course, they do the usual thing. Everybody pointing the finger at each other. Everybody pointing the finger at each other. Shoot, I was trying to find out his commissary. I was like, what's this dude's commissary? I'll send some money to him. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, well, a lot of people are still not happy that Joe Biden pardoned his own son, but I mean, it is what it is. Hunter is like what, a 54-old big boy. What is he going to do when Joe is no longer here and can bail him out of everything? Mm-mm-mm. They'll probably keep Dylann Roof alive another 8 years, Chris G. Mm. Mm-hmm. Oh, his name was Dwayne Stafford, the one that, thank you, Jesse, that beat the brakes off of Dylann Roof, and people all around the country sent him commissary and he could get out of jail. He could bail out of jail. He didn't have the money for a while. But I think he did not have a real serious offense. I got to go back and look. It was not so serious that they would not let him out. He just didn't have the money. And it's a lot of people like that. They don't come from families that got money. And so they end up stuck in there. Mhm. Well, wherever that brother is, I hope he's doing well and staying out of trouble, not getting caught up in the system again. Mhm. Yeah, it does. It does happen a lot. So Biden don't have, but what, maybe less than a month, and Donald Trump is coming to town. Mm. Mhm. Well, he's serious about taking over Greenland. Donald Trump wants to take over Canada, Greenland, and the Canal. And he's been talking about it all up in the news. Canada is pissed. They were like, they ain't, are never letting Donald Trump have control of Canada. Greenland said the same thing. And the president of Panama, I'm sorry, said the same thing. So I don't know what Donald Trump planned on doing to try to gain control of three different nations, which is, I don't know, who does he think he is? Putin? He's just going to go in and take somebody's nation? I don't think there's any nation on this planet that's just going to hand everything over to Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude is crazy. Well, y'all just brace yourself. I think we'll be okay, but them folks, they're not going to be okay under Donald Trump. They're not going to be okay. And if you've been watching the news, China has cut off exports to the US, anticipating Donald Trump raising up the tariffs on them. Because I think if he raise it up on China, the tariffs will be 35%. And they've already banned exports here in the US. And they said you're going to feel the effects of it in 2025. And banning will also include, there won't be no computer chips coming in this country. And that's going to bear a major impact. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, yeah. A lot of people are going to get messed over. You just wait and see. It's going to be a lot of people losing health insurance, losing jobs, because look, Elon Musk and Vivek already said they want to get rid of 85% of the government jobs, which is, to me, sounds very unrealistic. But that has a trickle down effect because there's a lot of contractors that work for the government. So it's going to be people that are hired for the government and have government jobs, and people that are contractors, they're going to lose their job. It's going to be a lot of job loss if they carry out what they say they're going to do. And you heard Canada. Canada said they're going to cut the power off in America. And I did not realize the vast majority of this country gets power from Canada. So if Canada turns the power off, most of us, especially if you're in the lower 48, we're going to be sitting in the dark. For real. We're going to be sitting in the dark. I did not know that, and most of the gas and oil comes down here from Canada. So Canada said they'll just cut the US off of everything, the gas, the energy, the oil, everything. I mean, this thing is about to get crazy. So if Donald Trump goes up on the tariffs, because they said it's going to mess up their economy, and they're not going to just sit and let Donald Trump mess their economy up. So that's how they're going to fight back. They're going to fight Donald Trump back that way. The only problem is we get caught up in the madness. That's the problem. Yeah, I know. Vivek, you're right. Jet Black, Vivek and Elon are both immigrants that Donald Trump put in these positions deciding who stays, who goes, what policy stays, which policy goes. It's ridiculous. They don't have no connection with the people. They don't care. They don't care what they do to us. And no matter what they do, you're talking about two billionaires. They're not going to feel the effect of anything they sit in those positions and do. So they don't care about us at all. Yeah, we'll see. You know why, Davita, many nations are clapping back? They are because they already know what Donald Trump is going to do. They've already experienced Donald Trump. And the EU, I was seeing the EU was saying that everybody in Europe should be prepared for getting little to no support from the US, because that's what Donald Trump did to the EU the last time. So they're anticipating he will do it again. So they said they're going to prepare and be ready for Donald Trump. They know they're not going to be able to rely on America because that's what he did to them the last time. Hmm. Well, y'all, look at it this way. We know that these folks are going to be out of power. And if nations fight Donald Trump back the way they say they are, that right there is showing you he doesn't have any physical power. All right. He doesn't have any physical power. And if the whole world started cutting Donald Trump off over the tariffs, we're going to just be ready for the shortages. There's going to be a lot of shortages in this country, things you won't be able to find that you normally can find now. Why do you think so many people keep telling you to stock up and make sure you get everything you need before he takes office? Stock up on anything that you need. And I understand what people are saying. We don't know what's going to happen. I know I have stocked up on a lot of stuff, and I know to keep myself fully stocked for real. Mm-mm-mm. All right. So, y'all, I would just go over one more thing. All right. If you have not been to my community tab, please go over there. I have all of the discount codes for my two shops on Etsy, my skin shop and my hair shop. I got my discount code for Shopify and all of those. Well, the hair shop is 25% off starting midnight until the 1st. The skin shop is 20% off of everything. Shopify, 25%. And Walmart, I have taken some dollars off of the products over there. So if you want to go, so you'll also get a discount if you shop over at Walmart. And y'all, people keep asking me for the gray reversal. It's on Walmart. So if you go to that link that I have in the community tab, you will see the link and you'll be able to go over there and purchase it. And it was $22.99. It's down to $17.99 for an 8-ounce bottle if you want that. So y'all, please enjoy the rest of your evening. And, we'll definitely come back and do this again. I think I got one. Horace Jennings, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you. And thank you to everybody for your support. I did see, quite a few of you did give a super thanks to a few of my videos. And I saw people did rejoin as members. So thank you for that. I'm still waiting for YouTube to put my membership back up, all of them. And, but thank you. Thank you for your support. It is deeply appreciated. And I thank you so much for bearing with me during the months I was demonetized. Thank you very much for that. So everybody, enjoy your evening. Enjoy your evening. I am expired. I have to read. Oh yeah, yeah. Please go ahead. And also, if you haven't noticed, I have some Yahweh and Yahweh Shai t-shirts up. In addition to my channel t-shirts are out there. I'm trying to have my channel t-shirts redesigned. I'll probably do that sometime in 2025. But you should see other products out there, not just my channel t-shirts anymore. It's not enough. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Daddy's Girl, too. Wonderful products. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Shalom, family.